Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. Some more epics. Let's vary it up a little bit. It sounds like a good idea. The last time it didn't go so well. And we had a little bit of a discussion as regards to class-specific epics and the fact that there are, of course, 3 different epic cards available for every class. And my conclusion was the best class epics actually belong to the Paladin. As you probably noticed here, all 3 of these cards are really good in their own way, whereas some of the other stuff, maybe not so much, as I think you've probably noticed. Some of it is of limited use, some of it's very, very good, some of it not so much, but I think only the Paladin has a consistent 3-card set that is really, really good. So, this is the Epic Paladin deck. Very simple swap out from the Epic Warlock, in that, of course, we remove the Warlock-specific cards, and we replace them with Avenging Wrath, Lay on Hands, and Sword of Justice. What kind of implications does that have? It actually has some very interesting implications. One, it gives us a rather fantastic amount of card draw that we wouldn't have otherwise had. Not only that, but it gives us survivability in the form of 16 points worth of healing over the course of 2 cards. Very expensive, so that can be a bit of a problem. It does make the deck a little bit more top-heavy. As you notice, it now has 8 cards in the curve of 7+. It still spikes in the middle, as we're well aware, but, that's actually got a little bit to do with the Paladin, the fact that the Sword of Justice is also a 3-pointer. It does give us also Avenging Wrath, which is removal, which we were lacking in the Warlock deck. The only thing we really had was, of course, Twisting Nether, which is a little bit of a nuclear option, let me put it that way. It removes everything, it's assuming you even draw into it. And Bane of Doom, which is limited removal because it only does 2 damage. Avenging Wrath has a tendency of, it really is the AK-47 of Paladins, when you just absolutely have to kill every bastard in the room. Avenging Wrath is pretty effective at that. It is not necessarily reliable, but it's pretty effective. It's also very useful if you're trying to finish off an opponent. If they've got nothing on the board, that's 8 guaranteed damage to the face, which is very powerful. That's almost a Pyroblast for 6 mana. And what else you got? Well, Sword of Justice. And this is the thing which really ties the deck together now. And I say that loosely, let me put it that way. It's not a tight knot, but it is a knot nonetheless. Might be difficult for someone with no hands to get through. The reason this helps the deck a lot is because there are certain cards in this deck that are of limited value, like, say, Captain's Parrot. Now, it's nice if you play this and you basically draw into the South Sea Captain. The problem is the Captain's Parrot has very limited use if you've already got the South Sea Captains, so that can be a problem. If you combo it up with the Sword of Justice, suddenly that 1/1 is a 2/2, which is much more useful. You can also use it with the Hungry Crab in situations where there's no Murloc that you want to eat, so suddenly that 1/2 is now a 2/3. You can even use it in combination with things like Blood Knights, which is awesome because these are very situational cards, very powerful when there's a Divine Shield, otherwise very basic cards. Buff them up to 4/4. And the coolest thing about Sword of Justice is its interaction with Faceless Manipulator. So the way that Faceless Manipulator works, as you're probably aware, is you choose a minion, it becomes a copy of it. Usually that forces a trade. Yeah? So it's actually, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, you play Faceless Manipulator, it's basically the same as removing the card that you cloned, because the chances are what they will then do is they will run that card into your clone, which is, it's basically an assassinate, unless, it's weird to say that, in terms of the metagame and the mind games involved, it is basically a less useful and reliable assassinate. But here's the thing, you put this down with a Sword of Justice, and suddenly, whatever you just stole is slightly stronger, which makes a big difference in terms of the mindset of your opponent. They're less likely to run their card that you just cloned into it, and if they do, they're going to have to follow it up with something. So you can often get a 2-for-1 out of it, which is just wonderful. And of course, 2 Swords of Justice means you're going to be using this a lot. It also means that, in combination with your hero power, you're spawning 2/2s instead of 1/1s, which is much more useful. So overall, I think these epics are a hell of a lot more useful than the Warlock epics with this combination of cards. Still maybe not great synergy, as you would expect if you're just picking every epic card in the game instead of building an actual deck, but perhaps we'll have a little bit more success with it. Let us attempt to do just that, shall we? Rank 20. It's a nice little rank to hover around with these gimmick decks. You're more likely to run into people that kind of know what they're doing, mostly. You can run into a wider variety of decks than at rank 25, where you're going to be running into people that just start, and it's an unfair stomp. This is a little bit more even. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we've got a Murloc War Leader. That's not too bad. Sea Giant, do you want to keep that in their hand? Sometimes you do, because you get to play it earlier. Against a Mage, you probably don't. I don't think they're going to be dropping huge numbers of creatures very early on. I can get one of my minions out, but he's going to kill it immediately with a Fire Blast. So, I'm not going to keep the Sea Giant for that reason, because it's less likely that I can play it early, and I'm going to scrap the Lay on Hands and keep the Murloc. It's a turn 3 drop, why not? A Doomsayer early, yeah, generally doesn't help that much, but hey. We got a couple of 3 drops, so that's not the worst thing ever. I find it highly unlikely that it'll break out anything that's worth me throwing a Doomsayer at, but you never know. Coins of the way, Sorcerer's Apprentice. Okay, fair enough. Well, Big Game Hunter. Not a brilliant opening, was it? So we could play the Doomsayer, which basically is trading the Doomsayer for the Sorcerer's Apprentice. What I think would be a better choice is if I throw down my Reinforce, and then if he drops another creature, then I drop the Doomsayer. Because the chances are he wouldn't have enough damage to take the Doomsayer out. He's not going to do that. Never mind. And I'm going to take 3 damage. Oh well. At least, he didn't get to play anything, so that's a plus. Alright, well, we've got our turn 3 now. There's nothing I really want to play out with the turn 3s, because they both suck. They're both going to die to that. So, I'm still tempted to drop that Doomsayer down. Or we can wait one more turn. Which I don't think is... Yeah, we're going to have to play something. What's the best thing to play? Well... Probably the South Sea Captain on the basis it's unlikely he has Murlocs. So, if I am able to get both of my Murloc War Leaders, I can actually go for a really nice drop, which is 2 5/4s. Which is stronger than 2 4/4s, of course. It has the obvious risk that if he has any Murlocs, then they get buffed up. But yeah, I've got to drop something. Hopefully just try and force him into a trade, which is not going to happen. I don't know, it might. Ah, my RNG is good today. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Cool. So I can trade out the 3/2 for his 3/2. Which I think I will do. Man, all these useless 3-drops. That is not helpful. So that's probably a mirror entity. I would imagine. That would make the most sense at this stage. I'll trade that out. There we go. Don't really have anything I really want to drop here. And do I want to give him a 3/3? Well, the interesting thing about Mirror Entity is that if I played Murloc War Leader, it would give him a 5/4 Murloc. And then I'd be able to attack him the turn afterwards. And he wouldn't. Am I right in that? I'm not right in that. Yes, I am right in that. Okay. Let's roll the dice. I was correct. Alright. So there we go. And what was I thinking? He can attack now, right? I'm a bit of an idiot. Or you could do that. Huh. Alright. Fair enough. I must have had a brain fart for a second. Do I want to create another one? Not really. I don't want to give him another... You know, he did that in the wrong order as well. He should have attacked my face first instead of doing that. Not sure what's going on with it. I think maybe we drop the Doomsayer here. I'm just like, I'm not getting any headway here whatsoever. Which is definitely not too helpful. Might as well. There we go. That at least slows him down. He can't, you know, I don't know. Maybe he can take it out. We'll see. Yeah, for some reason I had this momentary lapse where I was like, oh, well, Mirror Entity causes it to be summoned sleeping, and then it doesn't unlock for another turn. It's like, no, that's not actually true in any way. Alright, so that's going to wipe the board. Ah, that's not bad. Shame I don't have one more card. Thankfully, I do have Lay on Hands, so this is actually not the worst situation ever. If I drop the Blood Knight, I will still be able to afford it. Let's get something on the board. I doubt at this... I don't know, the Blood Knight could still have value at this stage if he drops something like a Sunwalker. And I'm going to kick myself if he does, but... That does give us the ability to choose between a Sea Giant or a Mountain Giant, depending on what happens. Chillwind Yeti. And the Fire Blast to kill that. Okay. Alright. Double Big Game Hunter. Sounds incredible. Isn't. Start dropping giants, I think. We drop the Mountain Giant, and then we lay on hands the turn afterwards, most likely. If the Mountain Giant survives, then we have the ability to clone it. There we go. Ideally, just wanted to get that out there before I started really emptying my hand. Although, if I'd held on to it, I could have played it earlier, but I couldn't have played the Sea Giant as a result, so... If there was one more creature on the board, it would have been a pretty good option. As it stands, it's not. Okay. So out of the way, that's to be expected. We're probably going to have to lay on hands now. We could bring up our Lord of the Arena. That's not bad. It trades for these two. Actually, it would trade for that and a Fire Blast, so that's maybe not the best thing in the world. Well, I am taking significant damage. Do I want to lay on hands here? That's going to really slow me down. I can take out his Lord of the Arena. If we lay on hands, that's not going to help my Sea Giant. Can we last one more turn? Maybe. Do I want to drop another Giant? It is a mage. He could polymorph. Do I want to steal his Taunt? I think I can survive one more turn before I hit my lay on hands. So let's drop the Sea Giant. And we'll get the... Might as well drop the Parrot. There we go. And then we run that into that. Yeah, and that's kind of annoying because he can then take that out with that. But I do have another Giant. So it's not the worst thing ever. So he'll... Oh, is he going to buff that boar? No, he's going to polymorph my other Giant. Ah, yep. Well, he is a mage. It was to be expected. But that was his turn. So... And he... Ah, that's actually neat. I'm surprised he did that. He didn't leave enough mana to Fire Blast and trade the ball for my other Giant, so I actually still have a Giant on the board. He may be forced to trade his Yeti in, which slows him down quite significantly. Yes. Cool. I have a board advantage, guys. It's not a very good one, but cool. So he can't do anything, but neither can I. Well, that's actually fine by me, because that gives me a turn to lay on hands, which gets me the Mountain Giant, which I can then play for significantly less than what I otherwise would have been able to as a direct result of that draw. I'll be able to play it for 4 and then clone it. So, let's see how many more polymorphs you've got. That will be 1. So that puts me back up there, and that actually gives me the advantage. So this played out quite nicely. Yeah, playing the Giant was the correct call. It's mostly his own mistake, though. If he'd actually kept a board of some description, then playing that lay on hands would have been less effective. As it stands, he wasn't able to do that. Mountain Giant, perfect time to get it. It's what we like to see. So we will drop the Mountain Giant into play. We've got the Molten Giant sitting there, and I think we're going to clone that. Yep, there we go. So we're going to get 2 Giants on the board. And if he goes straight for the face, which he might, I mean, he's probably got another polymorph. He used 1 fireball earlier. Let's see if he's got another. He might decide to go for freezing and just control, but I'm not sure if he's got those in his deck. If he doesn't do any damage to one of my Giants... Oh, he is going to trade 2 for 1, which is great, because I'll just drop Faceless Manipulator next turn and get another Giant. Alright. Okay, so what's he going to do then? Shield Master up. Okay. Well, he's going to take out the full health. No. Okay, that was good for me. Very good. I'm kind of surprised, but that works. Okay. Faceless Manipulator for another Giant. We want to play Sword of Justice first, though. Especially if we're going to have to drop a lot of weak stuff later. Okay, there we go. So, Faceless Manipulator, which gives us a 9/9 Giant. And then that will also give us a 2/2 there, which is cool, because that means we can splat Ascension Shield Master, and... There we go. We'd love to be able to take the Direwolf Alpha out, but I can't. Which is a shame, but never mind. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty strong board. And if he hits me in the face, then Molten Giants are coming. So, how many more Giants? Alright, he's drawing. So that's going to limit some of his options. In terms of his mana. Not by much, though. The only thing I could really be scared of is Pyroblasts, but There's a water elemental coming out. Murloc Tidehunter. Ooh, yeah, I was going to say that's actually bad. I don't want to play my Murloc War Leader. Alright, so he's going to get rid of that. We knew that was going to happen. That's actually not a big deal. Okay. Well, I don't really actually have too many options. He hasn't done damage to me, which means I can't drop my other giant. I should probably get rid of that water elemental, but in doing so, I'm going to get frozen, which is not brilliant. I think we just have to start dumping the hand, really. Get some stuff out on the board. I can't play the Murloc War Leader. That would be very, very silly. Okay. I can hold on, though. If I pull a Hungry Crab, then we can eat some Murlocs, which will be quite nice. Play that. Play that. I'm really setting up a Flame Strike here, but he does only have 2 cards, so it's less likely that he can actually do that. So we do want to take out his Direwolf Alpha. Absolutely. That is going to die. And we can use the Sword of Justice to take out his 2-1. That was our last swing of that. That's fine. And I think I'm okay with running the Mountain Giant in there and freezing it for a turn. That's actually not too bad. And that also opens us up health-wise to be able to play the Molten Giant, which otherwise we would not have been able to do. So taking 2 to the face was optimal there. And then we play South Sea Captain. Don't want to pull a Llama Butt in this situation. It's pretty bad. So there we go. Alright. I think we can safely say I have a stronger board than him. A Flame Strike could still wipe most of it, though. And in fact, if he Flame Striked and then traded the Murloc and then had a Fire Blast, then he gets rid of my Giant as well, which is not brilliant because I've burned through lots of my Giants and actually not done any damage to him with them. I've been trading with them mostly. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have a Flame Strike. He's in trouble. I could really use a Blood Knight right about now. Doomsayer, not quite what I was looking for. But never mind. I can play the Molten Giant now. And I will, because I'm a dick. So, here's a few more. Alright, let's trade the... Let's see, what do we want to do? Well, trade the 3-3 and the 4-3. Let's trade it up, certainly. Why would I not do that? There we go. And I think we just go for the face at that point. I have 2 Giants. That's what he's going to deal with right now. And even if he gets a Flame Strike now, that's not going to help him a huge amount. That gets rid of one of the Giants. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit of a difference. So he can now kill off my Mountain Giant, but he can't touch my Molten Giant. He elects not to, for some reason. I don't know why you would do that. But okay. Avenging Wrath. That's fun. Alright. We can pull that. It's not likely to actually kill either of these, statistically speaking, but... who the hell cares about statistics? Go Avenging Wrath! Ah, got one of them. And this other one is a lot easier to kill now. Not that it's really going to matter. I think we just go for the face at this point. And we play the Murloc War Leader. Why not? Okay, face time. There we go. Bang, 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 down to 2. Yep. That seems like the way to go. Screw taking that out. I think the time for trades is over. Yeah, I think you can see a little bit better synergy on those epics. I don't even know if I'd say better synergy. It's just that there's such a complete lack of it in the Maximum Epic Warlock deck that any improvement matters. And let's be honest, Avenging Wrath is a great card, Lay on Hands is a great card, and so is Sword of Justice. You know, those are all top pick cards. Whereas with a lot of other decks, their epics are very situational and kind of a bit weird. Like, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of people that would say something like Bestial Wrath, for instance, is somehow a better card than Sword of Justice. But again, you know, all that stuff is very situational, and generally the higher in rarity you get, the more unusual a card gets, not necessarily the more powerful a card gets. Although there are some exceptions. Alright. It's another mage, so again, we're going to take the same logic. We don't want to hold on to the Sea Giant because we're not going to hold on to our 1/1s. So we want to scrap everything that isn't a South Sea Captain at this point. Because at least that's something I can play on... I can actually turn to that. We can turn to Sword of Justice as a result of this coin. Which means that we can then play a 4/4. Which is pretty good. That's a much better drop than we would have expected. So we'll go with that. And the hope is, of course, that this mage is not running Ooze. As if they are, then we cry. Or even worse, Harrison Jones. But that is a 5-drop, so I think we'll be able to get away with it. Alright, Mana Crystal into Sword of Justice. And you know what? We're even going to kill that 1/1 because we can. One charge, get rid of the 1/1. Why not? Get it off the board. And then we've got South Sea Captain, which is going to be a 4/4, which is actually quite a dangerous little drop there. Mana Worm. Alright. What spells you got? He might be sitting on, and this will suck if he is, a Frost Bolt. Ooh, okay, yeah, big spell power synergy. Yeah, most likely going to be sitting on that. Not a lot we can do about it. I can pull the parrot, but let's throw the captain out and see where we get. Let's see what he's got. Probably an arcane missile's coming out now, and we'll see how good our RNG is. Hoping to at least get one of the creatures out of this. Questing Adventurer and then Arcane Missiles? Or does he not have that either? Because that would be very unfortunate if you're running a lot of spell power and spell synergy. Oh, Mirror Image. Okay, so that's actually pretty good synergy regardless. You get both the buff on that and the buff on that. Pretty amazing. And my Avenging Wrath will be useful, but no, can't use it yet. So, okay, well, I guess we have to drop the parrot. The Alarma Bot is totally useless. So we're going to drop the parrot, and we're going to get a Reinforce out. So we will build our board too. And we're going to need to, because this Questing Adventurer is going to rapidly get out of hand. Mana Worm could too, which would absolutely suck. Man, I wish the Captain's Parrot counted as a pirate. That would make it a much better card. Cone of Cold. This is going to suck. Yeah, we're getting spell powered out of existence here. Will he trade his 2/2 in? No, he's going to Arcane Missiles. Okay, yeah. So he's burning his hand. But this is the problem. Like, getting rid of this is going to be very difficult. He got pretty unlucky there. He was statistically likely to take that pirate out. But it's frozen, so why does he care? I'm already down to 11 health, for God's sake. So, yeah, I'm probably dead. In fact, I am, aren't I? What's he on? 5? Yeah, I'm dead. GG. Measures. Happens. Whatever. I just didn't start well. It didn't end well. It was this nasty synergy deck that he had going on, and he was able to get the right drops at the right time. It happens. Okay. We'll try it again. Hopefully not get another mage. I'm kind of sick of those now. Let's have another class, please. Never really got rolling with that one. And it's sad because, you know, that 4/4 drop on turn 3, that's a really strong turn 3. Really strong. Obviously, Coin Yeti has a similar effect, but it also means you get your sword out earlier, so you can then buff stuff up as you go forward, but oh well. It happens. Okay, what are we getting? Oh, come on. Stop giving me mages, please. Anything but that. Alright. It's going to be the same deal, I think. We toss the Avenging Wrath. We actually I should have tossed one of the Swords of Justice. I didn't need both. That was silly. Something in my head that says, oh, it's a 3-drop. Yeah, but Sword of Justice lasts for about 5 turns, so there's no way you need a second one unless he oozes you. In which case, that's a win for him anyway, so... Alright, well, we'll do the same thing. We're just going to do it with the Murloc War Leader this time. Mana Worm opening immediately. That's bad news. At least I won't play anything. I mean, I could Captain's Parrot, but frankly, no. Absolutely not. Against the mage, that's just stupid. So, yeah. Coin Sword of Justice turn 2 into turn 3 Murloc War Leader. Yep, there's the combo. So he's gonna... Oh, what? Well, that's an infuriating line of... The Sea Giant. The Sea Giant. Which you will then polymorph, of course, because he's a mage. But the Sea Giant. I can't keep any minion alive this turn, so it's better to go for the Sword of Justice play. Man, if he pulls more minions, he is going to get Sea Giant very quickly. There's no way he will, though, surely. He has the ooze. Urgh. Come on, have one more minion, please. Just one more. Well, it's a good job I kept hold of the Sword of Justice then, isn't it? Well, I guess we're playing Sword of Justice again. Pretty much. If I summon a minion, that'll take the Sea Giant down to 3, which is not enough. Well, at least he doesn't have a lot of damage on the board yet, and I have a lay on hands. So, we'll pull the same thing. And then we're going to Sea Giant him, which will then be polymorphed. And then we'll cry. But a turn 4 Sea Giant is too good to pass up if he doesn't have a polymorph. To be fair, with 4 taunts out, he's not even going to care. That's the sad thing about it. Arcane Intellect. Man, this is a wall of bullshit. If I have ever seen one. How are you supposed to get through that? Well, the way you're supposed to get through that as a Paladin is to Consecrate. Except Consecrate isn't an epic card. So no. We actually need... Sea Giant is the last thing we need right now. We're going to die to these 2 minions. And I hate him for that. I want to play my Sea Giant. No. No, it's dumb. I need to get minions out. Probably playing the second Sword of Justice was a mistake. Should have played South Sea Captain previous to that. Should have got that on the board, or Murloc War Leader. Should have played something on turn 3 that wasn't the sword. Because that's now let him get a huge amount of momentum, and he's probably just going to kill me with those 2 minions. Especially with all these buffs he's throwing out here. And Mana Worm Mirror Image is really powerful opening play. Yeah, I'm probably dead. Weird trade. Well, I guess he's got that. Okay. Now he just hits me in the face for 5. Yeah, I'm dead. I've already lost this game. Yep, GG. Well, that sucked. I mean, talk about build order loss. Yeah, looking at what he played, it didn't even matter. If I'd played my Murloc War Leader, it wouldn't have made any difference. Because I couldn't touch him. And without Consecrating this deck, what he just dropped on me murders me. So, you know, it's a build order loss. And as a result, it's not something really worth getting upset over. It's just annoying that it was yet another mage deck. I wanted a little bit of variety in this run, but it's not happening right now. Again, no point in getting upset over it. There's nothing that could have been done. There was no play that would have fixed that problem. The only thing I could have done better was to mulligan better. And toss one of the Swords of Justice away. Okay, cool. Something that's not a mage. That works. Alright. We can keep the Alarma Bot. We may be able to... Alarma Bot's not brilliant if you're going first. Because usually Coin Alarma Bot has a higher chance of getting through than turn 3 Alarma Bot does. As they have more ways to get rid of it before that. 2 Murloc War Leaders, though. That's always nice. Turn 3 and turn 4. But yeah, I think you still need to... You don't necessarily need to coin with this deck as much as you do with the Legendary deck, but it certainly helps. Alright, so that's that. I'm not going to play anything for obvious reasons, because if I do, he's just going to enrage off it, which would just be stupid, so we're not going to do that. We'll just drop Murloc War Leader next turn, and hopefully get a 2-for-1 with these. Seems like the way to go. Yep, and we'll hold on to Blood Knight, because who knows what he might have. Alright, play the Murloc War Leader. Hopefully he trades his 2-3 and his 2-1 into it, and then I'll be pretty happy. There's the Imp Master coming out. He'll probably just go for the face, though. Oh, no. Alright, yeah, he's going to trade. Cool, 2-for-1. Brilliant. That's what we want. He gets his Imps out, which is a little annoying against decks like this, although if I can draw into a Sea Giant, it won't be. Okay, got to drop the second Murloc War Leader, I think, here. And we'll hold on to the Blood Knight. The Murloc War Leader is definitely not useful now, outside of this capacity, so... Dropping that makes more sense than dropping the Blood Knight, which might be useful later on to take out a Sunwalker or something like that. Ironfur Grizzly is going to go up to stop me. So now he's going to go for the face. The thing is, it's low damage, so I actually don't really care. And they're not beasts, so it's not like you can really buff them up. Oh, the draws! Exactly what I was looking for. Absolutely phenomenal. Alright, there we go. And Sea Giant comes down. Fueled by his Imp Master. We take out his Taunt. And now he deadly shots me and I cry. No. Man, I hope I pull my other Sea Giant. That would be incredible. I can already do Faceless Manipulator, which will be great in and of itself, and then we can really trade well with what he has. Big Game Hunter, not useful. Okay. Faceless Manipulator is absolutely the best play here. So there we go. We pull out another Sea Giant. We knock his 4-4 over. There we go. So that's his major damage output. The rest of it is, you know, it's whatever. It's 6 damage on the board. Argent Commander coming out. That's pretty annoying. hoping to go for the face for that. Then I got Blood Knight it, but, you know, you would also have to be terrible if you were to do something like that. So, I'm still losing. I just want to point this out. I'm very slowly losing. Definitely need that second Sea Giant. Hungry Crab. No, that was not what I was hoping for. Okay, well, we still need to play the minimized damage game, so we are going to do that. And we're probably going to have to drop this Blood Knight now. We need bodies on the board at this point. So, we're going to do Blood Knight. I'm even tempted to drop Big Game Hunter, but... You know, weirdly enough, Big Game Hunter, there is actually only one card in the Hunter deck which can be Big Game Hunted, which is King Crush. Unless, of course, a card gets buffed. He's not even... I mean, he's not even playing any Hunter synergy from what I can tell, so... It's just more of a basic deck, which is going to be enough to beat me if I don't do something about it. So, I think we drop the Captain's Parrot, because that's going to pull the other South Sea Captain. And we probably drop the Hungry Crab. Just so it's a 1-2. It doesn't trade out with these 1-1s, so that's okay. Alright, so we're going to take another turn's worth of damage, which against a Hunter is a big problem. Here comes the Beast Companion, which is a 4-4 taunt, which is not ideal. And a Chillwind Yeti coming up behind that as well, which is, again, not brilliant. And now when it takes... Nope, he's going to trade the rest of the imps into my thing there. Okay, I think we lose this game, actually. Again, by the looks of it. Oh, Avenging Wrath comes out. Okay, maybe. Alright then, let's see what we get out of Avenging Wrath. We need to kill the bear, really. Well, I just get RNG'd. One more shot would have killed the Chillwind Yeti, which would have been brilliant, but as it stands, it's not brilliant. Okay. At least we bring out that. Alright, well, I am definitely losing. There's no doubt about that. Harvest Golem. At least it's not high damage. And funnily enough, you know, as much as that Imp Master seemed good for me, I got pretty much wrecked as a result of it. Avenging Wrath again, that's going to reset the board. That's actually beautiful. So, or at least that's the hope anyway. Alright, let's gun him down. It's not going to completely reset the board, because there's still going to be that 1-1. Cool. Wiped out pretty much everything with the exception of that, so that's okay. And we're going to drop the other South Sea Captain. Well, I'm not dead yet, but I'm getting close to it. And with a Hunter, you never want to be in this spot, because you're on a clock against the hero power. He's just dropping all-round solid creatures. Like, pretty much everything he drops is solid, and now he's able to trade his 3-1 into my 3-3. He's been getting good trades all game. Only thing I've got is a card advantage, but the cards I've got in my hand are useless, so it doesn't matter. Sea Giant, not the time to do it, really. Well... I mean, I'm dead next turn, aren't I? Yeah, I'm dead to hero power, so GG. Again. Man. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Well, it definitely has more synergy, but it doesn't have enough. At least not yet, anyway. I don't think I'm playing badly. I think I'm playing as well as I can with this, but it's very easily caught out. It's an amusing case study, though, in the idea of commons versus epics just in terms of viability. These decks, the meat of them, at least the meat of a good competitive deck, is the strong commons, you know? The unexceptional, the 4/5s, the Yetis, the Ogres, the Silverhand Knights. The stuff that's just good, the Sentient Shield Masters, which you just don't have a lot of in the epic selection. Okay, we're going second against a priest. Toss the Lay on Hands. Toss the Doomsayer. Keep the Captain's Parrot. Okay. Do I want to coin Parrot? Coin Parrot might be terrible. It does give me another turn 3 option. It gets something on the board for potential Sea Giant. Admittedly, that's not very likely to happen. We could coin Parrot. It would get us another card. But that leaves us with a turn 2, which only involves dropping that. I think I'd rather coin War Leader. That makes more sense. I'd consider it if I had the other South Sea in my hand. Not a good use of a Holy Smite. Okay, second Sea Giant. Don't have a setup for that, really. He just burned removal. I'm tempted to drop the Captain's Parrot as a result of that. Okay, we have Sea Giants. Alright. We're going to drop the Captain's Parrot. on the basis we have 2 Sea Giants in the hand. So if we can actually get some small creatures out on the board, which is likely, you know, priests don't have AoE until turn 5, then we might be able to drop the Sea Giants earlier. I mean, it's highly unlikely that I'll be able to drop both of them in the same turn, but I may be able to drop one followed by the other, which would be quite good. That is not a good use of a Shadow Word Pain either. Although, funnily enough, not that he has any way of knowing this, that actually slows me down pretty significantly. That's okay. So next turn we're going to drop South Sea Captain, which will be followed by another South Sea Captain, which will give me 2 4/4s. Which is, of course, the magic number for avoiding Priest BS. But unfortunately, it's now going to die to that 3/2, which is not brilliant. I think we drop the War Leader as a result, because otherwise that South Sea Captain will die. I'd rather have the combo. I'd rather have the 2s coming out. I don't want to force him into a trade, though, because I want to drop these Sea Giants earlier, but let's do the mathematics on it. So if I summoned one of these, and he trades his... I mean, he's not been shown to do really smart things so far, but he has been shown to be really into removal. So if he removes that... No. Nah, that's stupid. We'll get to play the Sea Giants eventually. So I'm not massively worried about trying to force out a lot of Sea Giants early. Especially since he's a priest, so he has Shadow Word Death. Alright. Will he trade his 3/2 into it? Oh, is he going to buff it somewhere? I mean, he could. Oh! Hoisted by my own petard. One of the main reasons why War Leader is bad. Now, surely you trade that 4/2 into my 3/3. You don't leave that alive. Yeah, you do. No, this is the right thing to do. Keep your 3/2. Especially since I can't target it with anything. Yeah, trade the 4/2 into the 3/3. Go. Go. That's good. Unless you have more Murlocs. You're going to lose the buff regardless. You're better off with the 3/2 than the 2/1. There you go. Alright. That screws me over badly, of course, because I am now lacking on the Sea Giant front. That sucks. But he doesn't have much damage on the board, so it's not a big deal. We're just going to play a creature, which might trade with his 3/1, and then we'll just hang on to it. So we have, like, 2 turn 6 options. If he drops something really good, which is unlikely on turn 5, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we could clone that, but... Whose health is he doubling? Okay, now we might want to clone that. Because that's going to be hard to get rid of. And whenever he heals, it's also going to give me stuff. Alright, cool. We're going to clone ourselves a 1/6. And then we're going to trade that into that. Alright. He might have another Shadow Word Pain, in which case he gets rid of that, which would be annoying. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Not the best use of a Faceless Manipulator, but that kind of puts him in that quandary. Not that he's got anything he can really heal right now. He could heal me. He'd get a card, but I'd also get a card. And I think in a deck like this, which has very little synergy, you really need choices. Heal me! Heal me! You know you want to heal me. He doesn't want to heal me. This is gonna suck. Okay. Alright, we have options. Avenging Wrath would be the... Wouldn't actually be the worst thing ever. But I'd take a big hit. Yeah, because I'm thinking about Big Game Hunter on that thing. But I can't do it yet. Double South Sea is probably the best drop. Although I can also drop Mountain Giant. And I'm not going to be able to do that much anymore. So let's drop Mountain Giant. And yeah, if he wants to draw off that, he's more than welcome to. I need like 9 mana to pull the Avenging Wrath Big Game Hunter combination to kill that Gurubashi, but I mean, I can just kill it outright now with the Giant, so it doesn't matter. Let's see if he has a Shadow Word Death. He has 3 cards. Any of them Shadow Word Death. He can heal himself for 1 more card, but he'll also give me 1 more card, which he might not want to do. So let's see. If he doesn't kill anything, then Sea Giants are coming down next turn. Shadow Word Death. It's to be expected. I have 6 Giants, he only has 2 Shadow Word Deaths. I'm okay. Now, if he has any sense... Yep, that's just out of range of my big game hunter, so I am likely to take damage here. And that's a nightmare as well, because it's not an enraged creature. You can heal that bastard. But if he does it again, then I can big game hunter him, so it's not the worst thing to ever happen. Mind Blast. Ow. That might be, though. I need my lay on hands pretty quickly. And I would also prefer Faceless Manipulator. Yeah, I'm tempted to take that 5/7, actually. Might get Shadow of Death, but I'd also have 1,000,000,001 other things that I could do. I'm also tempted to Avenging Wrath, but that could actually kill me. Like, if I buff that thing up too high, then that's going to murder me. So, yeah, we're going to Faceless Manipulator. There we go. I'm a moron. No. I'm only kind of a moron. So, what I could have done is I could have traded my 1/4 into that, which would have buffed it up, and then I could have big game hunted the thing. I wouldn't necessarily call it moronic. I would definitely call it a risk. It did give me a 5/7 as well. Damn, no. I am a moron. So what I should have done... No, I didn't have the mana for that. I was 1 mana away. So what I could have done if I had the mana for it would be you run the Cleric into the Gurubashi, which buffs it up to, what, 7/6? You then clone it, you then big game hunter it, which sounds great if you have 1 more mana than I currently have. So, no, I think I'm okay. There is definitely an argument for the other course of action, though. I'm taking a risk by leaving that thing alive. But it did give me something very powerful on the board, which is hard to get rid of. In fact, I mean, he doesn't have enough damage to kill it off, straight up. It's a 5/7. It's a really awkward number. Whereas if he... And next turn, I will absolutely buff and kill that Gurubashi. So, the most he can do to me here is 6, I would think. Man, he might even decide to buff that up even higher, and if he does that, then that's even better. Because he's sinking cards into it. If he leaves everything on the board, then obviously I have Sea Giant Big Game Hunter. Excellent. Does get rid of some of my card draw abilities, of course. Holy Nova. Ultimately, kind of wasteful. And now he's going to get Big Game Hunted. Oh! Yeah, that was definitely wasteful. I don't agree with that at all. And now he's going to suffer for it. Alright, so Big Game Hunter time. It does mean I can't play my Sea Giant. But I can play my Molten Giant because he hurt me a lot. So let's do that. Take the wee Slicket Car and Timorous Beastie out of the way. And then drop the Molten Giant because you're out of Shadow Word Death. Because you used them both already. There we go. Now you're in trouble. Okay, so we can start the comeback now. We have the lay on hands to make sure he can't kill me from this position. I mean, I'm on 15 health. I'm probably going to be fine. What's Priest going to do? He's already used 1 Mind Blast. He could use the other. He could have 2 Holy Fires. So, yeah, I mean, he could kill me. It's just not likely. Alright. And he can't heal himself either. I would actually heal me for 2. That does nothing. I would heal me for 2 to draw a card. I really would. Like, 2 health to me, card to you. Worth it for you. Do it. Or that. That works too. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that's okay. At least he does a bit of damage there. I mean, I'm going to trade my 4/1 into it anyway. But he might gain something which allows him to heal it up a bit further, which would draw him another card, and that would put it out of range. Which would be kind of neat. But I think Avenging Wrath is likely to... Oh, Holy Smite. And that's going to take that out. Okay, Avenging Wrath is... And a Mind Blast. Oh, ow. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, he can't kill me next turn with direct damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play another free Molten Giant. Because why the hell not? And then I'm going to Avenging Wrath to hopefully take his board out. Yep. Almost. Ah, man, that leaves me in this nasty quandary where it's like I really want to hit him in the face, but I don't want him to draw any more cards. So we're going to just hit him in the face. And then we're going to drop the South Sea Captain, which will follow up with another South Sea Captain, which will follow up with a Sea Giant, which will follow up with him probably crapping himself and running out of the room. All of those are possible.
Is someone injured?
God, I only just got rid of one of them. And funnily enough, that doesn't work, because he didn't have anything to heal. Ooh, that's kind of smart. You need to heal me. You want that draw, you need to heal me. Or one of my creatures. Make your mind up. I'll definitely trade my 3-1 into his 1-3 before I play my Lay on Hands, though, I can tell you that for a fact. We'll probably just play that, just go for super safe. He's most likely dead. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Super safe. We could get another Mountain Giant. I don't want him pulling any nonsense on me. There's my other Lay on Hands, and then we hit him in the face for 1,000,000 points. There we go. I think he might be dead, you know? He is out of the ways that priests usually have to deal with this nonsense. Admittedly, he did just Thought Steal me, so he's got a number of interesting things. Maybe he pulls my Lay on Hands, but he doesn't have the mana for it. Oh, he pulled the Captain's Parrot, which he doesn't have any pirates in his deck, so... I am so sorry. I did feel like I had to apologize for that one. I think that's reasonable. And now he's going to get horribly murdered. In the worst possible way. I would say so. Alright, well. A nice little end. As you can see, the Paladin deck with the Epics is a little better. Not brilliant, but certainly just a little smidge better than the one with the Warlocks. I would love to try some other variants, of course, and I probably will. Because, hey, there's 7 other classes, and they all have epic cards. We'll see where it goes. You've been watching Lord of the Gimmicks. For the next couple of hours, you can ask yourself why you bothered. I'll see you next time.